After hearing about Conor being a part of the Hall of Fame, as well as an award dedicated to Warrior that's actually going to be given to Conor's family, I already got my opinions and thoughts on that, and I put it in another video that's separate from this as a discussion video. And I have a friend, and just to let you know here, it is my opinion of it is going to probably be the polar opposite of what everybody else's opinion is. So instead of discussing on something like this, I actually just made a separate video about it, and I will discuss it at another time. But as of right now, let's just get started with this review. And never of all my years, I have never thought that I would watch Raw and just literally imagine the episode of Scooby-Doo minus the chicks. Seriously. I guess maybe because of how completely obvious sometimes Scooby-Doo can be. And the fact that we literally had a storyline based on this dumb idea from beginning to end, pretty much stating the obvious of what's going to happen. Even the fact that he announced what was going to happen and had the same outcome on the end of the show happened for 3 hours. Randy Orton coming back as a so-called, I don't even know what he came back as. He wasn't a face, thank God. But he wasn't a heel either. Like, he was just in between, kind of floating there. And we all knew that it was a revenge angle. We've seen this many times. And a guy who calls himself the Architect couldn't pinpoint that. Like, who wrote that crap? Like, seriously, who thought that this was an idea that was going to work not only on paper, but on screen? It just made Seth Rollins look stupid throughout the entire show, let alone have absolutely no push towards WrestleMania 31. None. Now, throughout the whole show, yeah, we pretty much had a few matches, especially the matches with some of the divas, and I have to admit, it's starting to get better over time. It wasn't as good as last week's, but it was good. The fact we have Summer Rae out there, Summer Rae out there versus AJ was nice. And all I can say is this. People were pretty much putting a lot of flack on Eva Marie being back out there. We all know, for those that watch Total Divas, that she actually had a silicone leak, so she had to be out for a few months. I don't know if she's cleared to wrestle, but she's probably cleared just to be out there. And more than likely, she's already wearing her gear. She probably performed before the show started. So, probably her and Cameron. And look, they got to get practice somehow, people. You can mock her how she will. You can say that she's a waste of space, or as well as that they're paying her to look pretty. But the thing is that she's trying to wrestle. She's trying to learn. Same thing with Cameron. Come on, guys. Throw them a bone. But besides all that, it was nice to actually see the Divas have not only one, but 2 matches. And the same thing, and I have stated this many times before, that I really want to see Natalya and Naomi in a decent feud with a decent match at WrestleMania. And yeah, I believe that Naomi should be the women's holder. She should be the Divas champion. And sure, why not give it to Natalya? But if Natalya gets the belt, it's more likely going to be the passing of the torch for her to finally retire and leave. And then next time she'll be in the Hall of Fame. But either or, these chicks will have their own decent feud in WrestleMania 31. If that's going to happen, I have no idea. But we've had a few good matches go on throughout the day, especially the IC title match, the IC title ladder match we're going to have at WrestleMania 31. We still don't know exactly who the last person's going to be. It can either be Daniel Bryan or it can either be Stardust. Honestly, Stardust doesn't technically need to be there because he's going to probably find his way in anyway with this unique character and all. But honestly, they should have just handled it here. In my opinion, Raw would have been the great background to actually have the entire card cemented, because we're 2 weeks away, people. 2 weeks away. Then you just got a whole bunch of bickering between the Kane and Big Show. And don't get me wrong, Randy Orton literally ripped everybody a new one in the beginning, and that was great. But then it led back to the same dumb storyline, and just kind of took me completely out of the thing. But the worst segment of the entire night, in my opinion, was Bray Wyatt. I love Bray Wyatt, but we all know that Taker is not going to show up until WrestleMania 31, which means it's going to leave Bray Wyatt to hype up this entire feud to keep people interested for the next 2 weeks. And he's doing all these ridiculous rituals, resurrecting The Undertaker, blah, 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 blah. The thing is, people want to see his face. People want to see his face, they want to see his body, they want to see him there. As much as I don't really want Taker to come back, period, at least throw people a bone. Try to hype him up by showing the man's face, for crying out loud. And speaking of face and voices, we didn't even get Sting. We got a ridiculous, dumb, semi-promo vignette, whatever the heck it was, and we got Sting on a voice morpher. For those that don't know what that means, a voice morpher, or whatever you would call it, whatever, is what people use in witness protection programs as well as on Jerry Springer. We got a voice morpher of Sting. Because we all know that Sting's voice is not that intimidating. So what does they have to do? They have to get a voice morpher. People are on Twitter the entire night. People kept hypothesizing who it would actually be. Guys, it's just a machine that morphs your voice, that changes your voice, a voice disguiser, if you will. That's what it was. They had a voice disguiser for Sting the entire night. This is what they're doing to hype up this match at WrestleMania. They're using a voice disguiser for Sting. Not showing the guy's face, not hearing him talk for the first time, not even seeing him in the ring. A freaking voice disguiser. Yeah, guys, if you really think that this is going to work for the next 2 weeks, keep trying. Come on, go ahead. It's not like you really don't need the views. I mean, it's WrestleMania 31, for crying out loud. Oh no, you can just let this slide. Either or, it makes absolutely no sense to use a voice disguiser for Sting. Please. And yeah, we had Wiz Khalifa show up, and I guess maybe he was sober for the first time. And I'm not even saying it to mock the guy. We all know that he's a heavy weed smoker. He even admitted it on the air constant times that he is a promoter of weed. But the fact is that, you know, he was there, great. But the fact that he performed was just stupid. Let alone he was way off his game. Like, he just sounded like he wasn't all there anyway. He had kind of like a subpar performance. So he should have waited till WrestleMania. If he had a song that literally was attached to WrestleMania, I have no idea. They have like multiple songs that year. So far it's David Guetta, but they could have like 2 other songs added to it that week later. But regardless, him performing was just stupid and pointless, and it was bad. It wasn't even that great. But anyway, moving on from there. Man, there's really nothing much to say. And yeah, I could talk about New Day being out there, and I really wish New Day would go away and never come back. But at least change their gimmick. But they had some kind of a tag team, I don't know what they had, tag team switch, something. They had several tag teams back to back performing, and when the winner would actually face the next opponent, and that's how it went back and forth. It was interesting, but yeah, it's just like you got 4 tag teams coming out there, and I know you got a lot more. No Ascension. I was shocked that the Ascension weren't out there. Not once. If they're going to do something with the tag team titles at WrestleMania, do something better to hype it up. Seriously. And let's lead on to John Cena. Now, John Cena had pretty much one of the biggest pops he's ever had in a very, very long time. Like, we have not seen Cena have a pop like this in a very long time, which shows that we want a more aggressive Cena. Yes, Cena could be a face, but for crying out loud, stop with the whole Superman gimmick. Can we at least have an aggressive Cena, especially when it comes to fighting someone from another country? That's all we want. And that's what we got. We got a very aggressive Cena to the point where Lana was practically begging him to stop. Not in that way, people. But either or, it was to the point where she was begging him to stop hurting Rusev. And then Rusev kind of cursed her out in Russian, and she's gone. And I kind of had a feeling that Lana was pretty much wearing out her welcome to where she had to disappear for a while, because Rusev was talking a lot more than he usually does. Especially when it comes to this feud. He was talking a lot more, which means that his mouthpiece is not so much a mouthpiece anymore. She's just there. She's just sitting there looking pretty, and that's it. She's starting to wear out her use. So I really felt that there was going to be a separation between the both of them, either or, but I don't know what they're going to do with her once she comes back. That's the biggest thing. If she's going to wrestle or if she's going to be a valet, I don't know. I have no idea. But honestly, I like this new aggressive Cena. It really does show me that he at least wants to try to do something different with his character instead of being the same guy day in, day out, every single night. It's kind of cool to see something different. And it's also cooler to see Rusev to be the aggressive heel that he really is. Before, I just felt like he was booked to be a monster. Now he's becoming one. He's becoming a one as a character. And I think that's cool. It really does bring out the feud a lot more and make people interested in watching this match at WrestleMania. But for the U.S. title, honestly, I would have been more satisfied if Cena stopped right when she said, well, you'll have a match at WrestleMania. I thought he was going to quit because he already had the U.S. title. In other words, this is a downgrade for him. This guy is a 15-time champion. He practically won every belt he ever had. I think he won the IC. I can't remember if he did. But either or, this guy has already won the U.S. title in his debut. And he's went on to winning 15 times the WWE Championship. So him actually winning the U.S. title is a downgrade. That's why I would have rather it just be a regular match between him and Rusev, just for the sake of country versus country, than it being for the U.S. title. Because that's kind of an insult to him. I'm sorry, it is. It really is. Not insulting the belt. It's just insulting him. Pretty much is what it is. And I'm not a fan of the Cena character, but I gotta admit, it's a downgrade, especially for him. Why even talking about the main event, people? It's pretty much stated the obvious from the beginning of the show to the middle of the show to the end. It's just dumb. Besides Stephanie coming out being a mom to Kane and Big Show, it's just completely irrelevant. But so here my thoughts are this. Okay, there were a few good segments, especially Brock Lesnar's segment, where more likely Paul Heyman practically just was extremely pissed because his mic kept getting cut off. And he pretty much cursed out the WWE indirectly and directly. It was awesome. It really was. But you know what? We all seen this before. The only time that it actually worked somewhat was with the whole Summer of Punk, and when Punk took the belt in Chicago at Money in the Bank. Seriously, that's the only time it ever worked. But this is supposed to be people are relating this to the Montreal Screwjob. No, I really don't see it as a Montreal Screwjob because nobody's really getting screwed here. At least we don't really know. Somebody could be getting screwed behind the scenes, and I have no idea. But I will say this. I highly doubt that this is going to happen. We all know that Brock Lesnar is leaving to go back to the UFC. We all know they are not going to allow the belt to go with him. But honestly, I am hoping that Roman Reigns does not keep the title because he just is not ready. And I don't think it should be teased by winning and having it taken from him. That's just wrong. Honestly, I would rather him win cleanly because there's no way he could beat the Beast anyway and just have it like that. But that's my own opinions of it. Here are my overall thoughts of Raw in general. There were some great points, especially when it came to some of the promos. Especially when it came to Randy Orton's little rant they had between everybody else in the beginning was cool. But I have to say the best segment of the night, the best promo of the night, of course, happens to be with Paul Heyman and Brock Lesnar in the ring. By far. But either or, this match, this entire show did nothing to promote WrestleMania the way it should have been. It's 2 weeks away, people. 2 weeks away. You still are barely hyping people up because not only you have people not showing up for some of these feuds, you also have one person that's not going to show up to the event. So it's just kind of like, meh. They gotta do more to promote WrestleMania. They gotta do more to promote this show. This is the biggest show ever in this company. They got to do a lot more. But they're not, it's like they're barely reaching that point. But honestly, guys, we got 2 more weeks before WrestleMania 31. And I'm still not hyped up. I'm hoping that I'm going to be proven wrong. And I'm hoping they're going to be at least doing something more with it. Maybe on SmackDown. We'll see. Haven't really watched SmackDown in a few weeks, but I'm hoping they'll do something with it. But guys, I want to hear your own personal thoughts of the show. Leave a comment in the comment section below. Send me a video response on your thoughts on Raw, and especially on WrestleMania in general and how you feel about it. But as of this point, because I actually do have a discussion video with that too. Far too many. This is a huge talking point week. But either way, guys, it's an Itch Girl 30 signing off. Peace out. Later.